Nhận diện dòng má 4 hồ rồi.
I put those two pieces up here. So let's go back to the presentation up here. So we're going to start with the configuration of the switch, the 2950 switch. What we need to do, what you need to configure, what configuration we need on the 2950 switch. As you see up here in this presentation, first of all, I'm going to create two VLAN, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And VLAN 10 is going to be for the IP phone. This network up here. So I'm gonna cable the, and as you see up here the IP phone, this is gonna be very specific because the IP phone has two ports. One port will connect to the PC, and the other port will connect to the switch. And we're gonna now save port on the switch because one port on the switch is gonna be able to connect the IP switch. So I'm gonna connect this one to fast 011, and I'm gonna save port on the switch because one port on the switch is gonna be able to connect the IP phone and the PCs. So I'm gonna show you how you can make that happen. So I'm gonna first of all, you see as you see up here, the IP phone has two connector. One should connect to the switch. So I'm gonna connect this one to fast 011. And I'm gonna connect this one to the switch to FA0/12, as you see up here. And now I'm gonna connect this. This next connector is for the PC, as you see up here. So to the PC, and very simple, excellent. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna connect FA0/1 on the switch to FA0/0 appear to the router. So let's go to the switch now. Let's open the switch up here. So I'm gonna conf T. No, I'm gonna go to privilege mode first. Enable conf T, and we're gonna do it fast. So I'm gonna create the VLAN. I'm gonna do VLAN 10. I'm gonna name it name voice that's gonna be the VLAN for the IP phone, and exit from here. The other VLAN is gonna be VLAN 20, and I'm gonna name sorry about VLAN 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna do name now. This IP phone is connected to FA0/11. So this you can assign an access port. You can assign only to on one VLAN, like you see, assign and VLAN 20 or 12. So that way it's gonna be faster, you know. So we're gonna do switch port. We're gonna make this port as an access port. Switch port mode access, and we're gonna do switch port, switch port, access, VLAN 20. This is going to be the VLAN for the PC, for the PCs. So now this PC belong to VLAN 20 by using this, like PC1 will be using FA0/11 and PC2 FA0/12. For the IP phone, we're going to need only a single command. Let me show you. Go back to the switch. I'm going to do, for the IP phone, we're going to do a switch port. Switch port. Let's use the question mark. If you use the question mark, you see the keyword voice. This is to apply voice VLAN on this port up here. So we're going to do voice, and let's use the question mark. And it's going to ask you the VLAN. You want to assign that those voice. It's going to ask you the VLAN where you want to assign this port for the voice network. We're going to do VLAN 10, and that's it. So now. That's the reason why we are assigning an access port to two VLAN, because we are using the voice VLAN. So that's how you can properly do the voice VLAN configuration on a Cisco Cisco switch. So this is a safe way. Before, back in the days, people used to VLAN. So now the last step is to configure this port up here. Let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. This port FA0/1, because this router is going to be a router on a stick. So this port is going to be a trunk port, FA0/0/1.
Yeah.
So we're going to do interface. Let's exit from here. Exit from here. Interface. FA0/1. We're going to do switch port mod trunk. Mod trunk. And that's it. So this port is a trunk port. So now you are done with the switch configuration. So now let's go back to the presentation. So the next step is to go to the router. The 20.
Yeah. Con đang nghĩ đây.
So the next step is to go to the router, the 2811 router, because
Yeah. Con đang quay lab. Yeah.
this is where where I'm gonna focus, because most of the voice over IP configuration is gonna be on the router, because this router is the one who's gonna handle the IP phone calls. So first of all, we're gonna make this router as a DHCP server, and we're gonna create two pools. One pool is gonna be for the IP phone, and what the other pool is going to be for the PCs. So first of all, as you see up here, let's go to Packet Tracer right now. Open up this router. Let's do now. So privilege mode. We're going to do conf t, and we're going to do DHCP network. Put 192. It's going to be for the PCs. So I'm going to be using the dot 20 dot configuration. So we're going to create some interface, and I'm going to do default router, the DHCP configuration for the IP phone and the PC, that port as a trunk port on the. We use the interface. So the router is going to be it. that 20, that one. That's it. So now I create on the switch. So it's going to be able to do routing or stuff like that. So first of all, it's going to be to create the sub interface 255.0 faces. So I'm going to go now to the physical interface. We need class 0. That's the physical interface, and I'm going to do just do a no shutdown. So because I told you we need an IP address, you just enable the physical interfaces. So now the next step is this is the big step. We need the most important step I can say is to do the configuration for the call manager on the router. First of all, we're going to define the maximum number we're going to be using for the IP phone. So I mean the directory numbers and the maximum IP phone we're going to be using on our network. And in order to do that, we're going to use this command called telephony service. So let's go to the router up here. And exit from here. Go back to the global config mode. So we're going to do telephony services. Telephony services. You expect to live in this world for IP functionality on the router. First of all, we're going to up here define the maximum number of phones we're going to be using on our network. So let's, by using this command up here, max ephone. Go back to the Cisco packet tracer. I'm going to do max ephone. Max ephone. Let's use the question mark. So we're going to see, as you see up here, only this router support up to 42 phones. So like we can say that this router is just designed for a small office network or small you know, or home network or stuff like that, you know, because it can only support up to like 42 phones. So for some change the number, you know. It's not like the Cisco router is going to lack this number, like, you know. You can between this range up here, you can choose whatever you want, like from 1 all the way to you want, like from to the router. So I'm going to do max DN. Let's use the question mark. And you see up here, this router support up to 144 directory numbers. So I'm going to just put 4 up here, or I'm going to put 3. The reason why I'm putting 3 up here, I just want to show you that you don't need to like make the same number like up here. put two IP phone, I don't need to put like up here max DN2 because I see a lot of people they doing it that way. But you can use. I advise you to use more directory number than than the phone you have on your network because sometimes you may need to assign more than one number to an IP phone. So that I'm just showing you that because you don't you don't 100 because IP source address this is the address where the IP phone will be using in order to communicate with the call manager. So as you see up here, this is the command you need in order to do that. So I'm going to be using the same IP I mean the default gateway for the IP phone. I'm going to using those address. So those IP phone will be using this address in order to contact the call manager. So I'm going to do, let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm going to do IP source address, and I'm going to do 192.168.10.1, and let's use the question mark. It's going to ask you a port you'll be using. So we're going to do port, and let's use the question mark. It's going to ask you the port number. So we can have this range up here. You can use from 2,000 all the way to 9,999. So I'm going to just choose 2,000 because that's the default port. Usually a lot of people take that port number, and that's it. And now the final step is to create the CNF file. This file is what those IP phones will need those files in order to properly work with the Cisco call manager, because they're going to be using those files in order to properly function on the voice over IP network. So let's go back to the presentation. We use the ephone command up here to do the ephone configuration, because the phone itself you have to configure. So then the next step is to do the ephone configuration, because the phone itself you have to configure on the Cisco call manager. The Cisco call manager have to recognize that phone, and in order to do that, we use the ephone command up here, and we have to do the configuration for the directory number 2 by using the ephone DN command up here. So let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm going to show you right now how it works. So, and be careful. This command is you use this command on the global config mode, not on the telephony service mode. So we're going to do ephone. Let's do ephone, and let's use the question mark, and it's going to ask you a tag. So this tag is from this tell this ephone what MAC address will be using. So MAC address question mark, and it's going to ask you a tag. So this tag is from 1 all the way to 96. MAC address, like you tell this ephone what MAC address will be using. So MAC address. And now, in order to know the MAC address, you have to go back to the phone. So, like up here in Cisco Packet Tracer, it is very simple. You just hover the mouse up here. If you hover the mouse, you see this this phone has 00E08F41C169. So I'm gonna pause the video, and I'm gonna take those two MAC addresses. Okay, now the MAC address, the first MAC address is gonna be 00. Okay, now the MAC address, the first MAC address 41 C169, as you see up here. Pause the video, and I'm gonna take C169 up to 3 type. Okay, now the MAC address, the first MAC address has 00E08F41 8F41C169. So I'm going to pause the video. And I'm gonna take those two MAC addresses for one, two, three type. And the type we're using now is 7916, and that's it. So I'm gonna exit from here, and I'm gonna create ePhone 2, and I'm gonna do MAC address quickly, and the next MAC address is gonna be 002.659.6D29, and I'm gonna do the type is gonna be 7962. So, and that's it. So we create we associate the ePhone to the ePhone tag to the MAC address of the phone. So now the next step is to define the number, the directory number. So to create a number on the Cisco Code Manager by using the ePhone DN up here. So I'm gonna go back here to the router. I'm gonna exit from here, go back to global config mode, and I'm gonna do ePhone DN1. And as you see, as I do ePhone DN1, you see an interface, a virtual ePhone interface DSP DN is created up here, as you see up here. So I'm gonna give it a number. That's gonna be the number the phone will be using. I'm gonna do number, and it's gonna ask you word number. I'm gonna do 2001 for simplicity. So, and I'm gonna exit from here, and I'm gonna do ePhone DN2, and I'm gonna do number 2002, and I'm gonna do exit from here. I'm gonna do ePhone DN3, and I'm gonna do number 2003. So you see, you remember I defined the maximum DN to 3. So if I try to add another number, let's try to add another number to see up here. I'm going to do if on DN4, for example. So you see, it's a DN4 max exceeded. DN4 exceeded, as you see up here, because you only the maximum of DN we defined was 3. That's the reason why we cannot create a fourth DN number up here, as you see up here. So I hope you guys know that. So now we are done with the creating the if on DN number. So the last step is to use the button configuration. Okay, for this button configuration, let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm going to show you right now. Let's open up the phone. As you see up here in this phone, okay, it say the device must be configuration was 3. That's the reason why we cannot create go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm going to show you right now. Let's open up the phone. As you see up here in this phone, okay, it say the device must be power on. So, but just to show you that if phone, okay, I'm going to go to if on 1, and I'm going to do button, and I'm going to start with button number 1. So if I put 1, that means it's button number 1, and you put a colon. And the next number you're going to put is going to be the directory number. If I do 1, that means the button 1 is going to represent the number 2001 up here. Okay, I'm going to exit from here, and I'm going to do if on 2, and I'm going to do button 1. So that's the number for the button, and the directory number I'm going to give it is going to be, I'm going to do 2, so it's going to be the directory number 2002. That means if on D1 2 up here. That's what this button configuration means. So the first number is the number of the button, and the second number is the if on DN number. Simulation mode, and I'm going to filter the this packet up here. So DHCP packet. I'm going to filter the DHCP packet and the SCCP. This is the scanning control protocol used by the IP phone in order to communicate with the Cisco call manager. So I'm going to now power the IP phone up here. Power, that's how you power the IP phone. Power this guy up here too. So, but before I power this guy, let me go to simulation mode. Let me try to. You see, this guy is sending a DHCP packet. Let's open up this packet up here. It is a DHCP packet. So. IP phone in order to communicate with the Cisco call manager. So I'm gonna now power the IP phone up here. Power that's up here. It is a I power this guy. Let me go to simulation mode. Let me try to. You see, this guy is sending a DHCP packet. Let's open up this packet up here. It is a DHCP packet. So it's gonna send the DHCP packet to the router up here, and this router will give this IP phone an IP address. As you see up here, if you open this packet up here, you see it is giving this IP address to the IP phone, the 192.168.10.10 up here, and the same thing. So let's stop the simulation. The same thing if I power this guy up here. Let's go back to simulation. I power this guy up here. as you see up here. So, and now this guy is asking for DHCP configuration for an IP address up here. As you see up here, he's sending a DHCP packet, and as you see, it's gonna get the its IP address up here. Let's go back to the GUI. You see the phone now has its phone number up here, 2002 up here. As you see, the TFTP server, in order to get the configuration file by using CDP. Protocol is using the SCCP protocol to communicate with the Cisco call manager, as you see up here. Now power the IP phone up here. And this router will give here. You see, it is giving this IP address to the IP phone. The